Okay, so today we're going to talk about planting our onions and garlic. So they're in big bags. You'll notice the garlic is basically the same as you buy in the shop. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the garlic, we're going to break it down into its individual cloves. I find it easiest just to have a pot spare to put them in. Then when you're planting them out, that's fine. Makes it easier. So the important thing about garlic is that you put them in the right way up. You'll see there's the bit at the bottom here that's very important. That needs to go down because that's where its roots are going to go. This top point is where it's going to sprout a nice big green shoot. Plant them upside down, obviously it's not going to grow. So make sure you put them in the right way round. Onions are the same. We buy these little onions in. Someone's grown them from a seed to this size. What we're going to do, we're going to put them in the ground. Again, you'll see at the bottom here, there's a little bit where the root's going to come out, and the top where the nice green shoot's going to come out. Again, make sure they go that way in the ground. You plant them that way, they're not going to work. So having got our bulbs and garlic and onion ready, we're then going to prepare the bed. So this had a lovely green manure growing in it. This has been chopped down. Most of it's wasted into the ground now, but there's a few bits left. So we're just going to get the hoe, just hoe off the last bits. Any like these stalky bits, we're just going to hoe off. And then we're just going to get a rake and gently rake these to the side. I'm putting them on the bed next door, which hasn't had a covering on, or you can just take them out and put them in the compost heap. If there's any big weeds with deep reaching roots that are still in here, just dig those out first. You've got a nicely prepared bed like the bit we did earlier over there. Okay, so having prepared your bed, we're now going to plant them. So the easiest thing to do, we're going to do the garlic. Take a dibber, dib a little hole. What you want the garlic doing, you just want it in the hole and really just about completely covered, but just kind of a little tiny peak coming out the bottom. We're going to put these in 15 centimetres apart, which is like about a hand span. And again, actually just go across the bed, dib in your hole, putting your garlic in, filling it round, and across the bed you go. And just keep working your way across the bed. If there's any weeds or stones, just pull them out, get rid of the stones in the bed. And keep going. So having sown your first row in, what you're going to do then, you're going to then put the second row in. Again, you want to leave a decent space between your rows. Again, about the length of the dibber, because that means that when we come to weeding and hoeing, we can just run a hoe through the middle to take the weeds out and we don't disturb the garlic. So again, it's important to leave a decent spacing to allow the plants to develop, but also to help us with weeding. Exactly the same again, really. Keep going with your garlic. You need to remember where your rows are, so you kind of cover them up so you can keep them poking out. And just keep going across the bed and across the rows. Okay, and finally, having planted out all your garlic, the bed looks lovely like this. We hang a load of CDs over the top just to scare the birds, because the birds, being inquisitive, will see those tops of the garlic poking out, will pull them up looking for bugs underneath them. So the bird scarers, just keep them in the ground. If you do see the bed and you see any loose ones, just do a little hole with your finger and put the garlic clove back in. Once their roots are in the ground, they'll be fine. Okay, so planting onions and garlic is very, very similar. Again, make sure, as I said, plant them the right way up. We're going to dib a small hole. Again, use the whole width of the bed so we don't kind of go to the ends, so we don't waste any space. And again, put them in just so that those little tiny bits are just peeking out the top. Again, 15 centimetres or kind of the dibber width apart to allow for hoeing. Dib a hole. If it's made it too big, just fill it back in a bit. And put the next one in and just keep going across the bed. So first row done, exactly the same with the garlic and onions. Again, a dibber width apart, you get a second cane, and again right to the edge of the bed, dib it in and just keep going across the rows. I'm going to hang up some CDs, again just stop the birds pulling them out the ground, and again just leave the bed completely open. There is no need to dig these beds, they've had potatoes in before. So that means that we don't need to dig, just take out the big weeds and leave it like this. Away you go.